Hi there, I'm the SOLIDWORKS nerd, and today we're going to be working on some CSWP practice. We're going to be working on the gear mate specifically, and to help us do that, I've prepared us a little exercise. So here's our challenge. We're going to go ahead and create this assembly here, and we're going to set it up such that a gear mate will enforce this specific gear ratio, 101.6 to 50. And we'll start at this initial condition where both of these blue sliders are touching the top. Then when we have this set up, we'll go ahead and move one of the bits and, just pull some measurements. So let's see how this goes. So here are my part files that I've completed for us. So I did this in SOLIDWORKS 2014. So if you have SOLIDWORKS 2014 or above, you should be able to follow along at home. I'm going to go ahead and open the three parts just by clicking and dragging. So keep in mind, I have this Gear Practice 1 assembly. So this is if you don't want to do the general assembly part and just want to jump straight into the gear mate and practice that, you can open up this one. Or if you want the whole completed thing just to see how it's done, here's this one. But at any rate, here's our three parts. You see we just have a box with two holes. It's got a slot in there. Next we have an arm. This is all one solid piece. It's got a slot in there, an axle, and a friction wheel that we're going to be assigning our gear mate to. And then lastly, a slider to help enforce some movements and to pull some measurements from. We'll start this assembly by going to File, Make Assembly from Part. Okay, it's barking at me that I don't have good default templates, but that's okay. A blank template will work for this. All right, to start us off, I'll go ahead, go to Assembly, Insert Components. Here's my box. And you can see that with my graphics preview, I can place this box pretty much anywhere. But just to place it right in the middle, I can just go up here and hit this check mark. So there it is. Our first component is always fully defined, cannot be moved. So that's good. We'll go back to our Insert Components, and I'll bring out our arm. These blue part origins are kind of annoying, so I'll go up here, click this tile to disable them. Okay, now I'm going to try and get this into place. Right click and drag will rotate this around. For my first mate, I'll click this face, hold down Control, click this face, and I'll select the concentric mate from our shortcut menu. Alright, so that's pretty good. I'm going to pull this out pretty far. Click that flat face and click this face and enforce a coincident. Now we should have something like this. Fancy. Notice that there's no collisions, but that's okay. I need another one of these arms, so a fast way of doing this is if you hold Control, click, and drag, you can get another copy of this. Pretty neat. And this is a kind of awkward situation to mate. You notice I was having to rotate this all about. So a pretty cool new 2018 feature that was introduced last year is this. You can go to your mate command, and when you're in your mate command, you can actually hide faces away. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I can click this face to be part of my mate, but instead of rotating all the way around to see the other side, I can just hit my Alt key. And what that will do is hide this top face, so here I'm hovering over the back face, as seen from the inside. So these faces are infinitely thin, so picking it from here is the same thing as picking it from the other side. Click that. And for this one, it's a little bit easier. Both of these stick out. Put a concentric there. And now we have something like this. All right. Onward with another component. I'll get the slider out this time. And most of these components, or practically all of them, are pretty symmetric, so I don't really have to worry about orientation here. Though do pay attention if you're in the exam for anything like that. I'm going to start our mate command again. because if you notice this slot as well, it's a slot. And many of you may know we actually have a mate specifically for that. If we go to mate and then grab our mechanical mates, we can select a slot mate. So I've already selected this pin here. So I'll go ahead and select the slot itself. I'll hit OK. And that's looking pretty good. Now what I'll do, I need a coincident. So I'll grab that here. So I'll do it between this face and the face on the other side. So remember, press Alt to hide that face away. Now I can click it from the other side. One last thing, which will be this face and the face that again is on the other side of this slider. So Alt, and I'll click right there. And now what we should have is this slider crank mechanism where it'll move something like that. And now I need to do that on the other side. So again, I need a copy of the slider. Hold down Control, click, and drag for that copy. And for my mate, I'll select this one, and I'll do the coincident first, just like that. And now for my slot, there's no way to get it from the shortcut menu, so I'll have to go into my mate command. I'll select slot. I'll select the slot first this time, and then the peg. There it is. And one last one. So coincident between this back face. I'll press Alt to get to the other side. Oop, I might have missed. There we are. Hit OK. And now we should be good to go. Alright, so if you skipped over to this point from the timestamp, then we're actually ready to tackle our challenge now. We have it assembled, and this is our motion as of right now. Just like that. And here's the mates if you just want to see them here. So now let's look at our challenge. So figure 1 shows us 2 bits of information here. It'll show us the gear ratio, so that's pretty straightforward. But we also have this coincident here, and it's referring to the space between the top of the slider and the inside face of the box. So this is important because we can put the gear ratio whenever we want, but it's important to apply it when the initial condition is correct, because we can have these 2 gears touching as it's shown in the image, or this arm can be all the way down here. Who knows? So we need to actually resolve that initial condition first. So I'll enforce that by putting a couple of coincident mates between these faces. So again, that is the top of the slider and the inside face of the box. Like that. So now we should see that selected component is fully defined, cannot be moved. Makes sense because we took its last degree of freedom away. Alright, so now let's go back to our prompt. Oh yes, the gear mate. What this whole video is about. So for our gear mate, as you might expect, it is a mechanical mate. So going to our mechanical mates, I'll go ahead and select a gear. Select the 2 cylindrical faces just like that. And what's really nice about this particular feature is that it automatically puts in the diametral value, observed from the geometry. So that makes sense, but remember the CSWP is a evaluation of how you know how to use the tools. So how do we get this to happen? Well, in the diagram you can see that they're pretty much the same size, but be careful what you assume from diagrams. But if you notice this ratio here, you'll notice that you can override. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter 50. And when I hit tab, it accepts the value. And just like that, we have a gear ratio of 101.6 to 50. And now some of you may be saying, well, those are the same size. That would never happen in real life. Again, the point is not what would happen in real life. It is, do you know how to use the tools? But though SOLIDWORKS will put it in yellow saying, hey, that's not what we're measuring here, but you can put it there if you want to. Go ahead and hit OK. That's looking pretty good, and OK one more time to accept the mate. Now let's look at the second part. So that's the first. Now the second one. Now it wants us to move this whole arm down until the bottom face of that slider is 100 millimeters from the inside bottom face of the box. And then from that, it'll actually create a gap here, and we got to measure that gap, called X in this diagram. So let's go ahead and move it down now, shall we? Not moving down. Oh yeah. So we have a couple of mates holding it in place. And this is yet another thing that the Certified SOLIDWORKS Professional will test you on, is not only do you know how the tools work, but can you manage your mates to get what you want? So now we want motion, and I'm actually done with these coincident mates. They've already done their job of setting up my mechanism for the initial condition. So I can get rid of them, but instead of deleting them, I'll just suppress them to turn it off, just in case I need them again. And now if I move this down, you can see our gear mate in action. The rightmost slider moves a lot faster because of the smaller gear ratio over here. So now let's go ahead and enforce our distance. So looking at our diagram again, see it's 100 millimeters. So I'll go into mate, and it looks like I got a face pre-selected, so I'll right click, clear selections, grab our distance mate, put 100 millimeters, and remember it's between this bottom face and this face. And notice that this moved into place too. And that is the distance that we're going to measure here. So I'll go ahead and hit OK on that. And now that's fully defined. And that's fully defined. It's always good to check because this should be completely defined like this. So if this can still move around, you might want to check your work. But at this point, time to actually get our answer. Go to my Evaluate tab, grab the Measure tool, and I'll grab these two faces. And our distance there, maybe you can see a little bit here if I make this larger, 9.89 millimeters. That is our final answer. I can even copy from here. So if you hover over this, that little button is for copy. And I don't have a test prompt, but I can put a text box if I want. Text, paste, and that's our final answer. So with our answer in place, that actually concludes this exercise. So if there's anything I missed, please leave a comment down below, or if there's any other topics you want me to cover in the future, also leave it in a comment down below. If you found this helpful, please leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. There's a lot more coming in the future. This has been the SOLIDWORKS Nerd, and I'll see you later.